Hey guys, it's your girl Burt. I'm checking in on behalf of I Am Hip Hop Magazine. We have a dope new concept that we're going to be running as we will now be doing live interviews. Not only will we be doing live interviews on Instagram, we'll be also be doing them on a couple of different platforms. So if you guys know of any dope artists that are interested or you think would be dope to interview, let's make sure we get those interviews out. That feel free to submit any questions. If you have any questions you feel like you want me to add. Oh, there he is.
Apologies, technical difficulties, but give me 5 minutes. But yeah, I'm about to be inside, and we'll be all good.
Okay. And hey girl, I see you, sis. It's going down. Savant is in the building, guys. Hey David. A lot of great things we're gonna discuss. And if you have any questions you feel like would be, good things to ask, don't shy away from the questions down below. And as soon as he gets ready, we will go into it.
Yeah, for sure. How you feeling, Miss Lady?
I'm feeling good today, one day at a time. How are you doing?
I see you. I'm blessed, man. I'm feeling you had a good day.
Glad to hear that.
Put
So
some
you
stuff
are
on
you
way.
ready?
I'm ready when you are. I'm always
Okay,
ready.
bet. So we're gonna go into it.
All right, bet.
It's your girl Burt checking in with I Am Hip Hop Mag, and I have a special guest in the building today, Mr. Savant. He is not only a singer, he is a songwriter and producer, as well as an entrepreneur. So we're going to talk a lot about what he has currently going on in the studio, outside of the studio, and just how he's bringing a lot of unity to a lot of people around him. So to start, Savant, you have a new single that's out, new single and a new music video.
Yes,
Very
indeed.
touching. The
Yeah.
lyrics, the video itself, it appeals to, a lot of different people who love good music. Do you
Right.
mind talking a lot about your new single and video and kind of what that process like? What was that process like for you creating that during quarantine?
Oh yeah, most definitely. I appreciate all that too, of course. Yeah. So, uh, my single "Protect My Peace." It was a song I made May, late May of this year.
Hmm.
I had actually at that time I was actually going through a lot of personal stuff. I actually deal with PTSD, so I was in a tough state of mind at the time because of a car accident.
Hmm.
So I was just recovering from that, and I was just dealing with the normal stresses of life. Growing, I'm 23, so just
Right.
just understanding life after college, understanding life in general. Keeping the right people around you, removing people, all type of stuff like that. So that's why I named it "Protect My Peace." And I actually at that probably like 2 weeks before I recorded it, I had actually ripped my vocal cords.
Right.
So I wasn't recording. I couldn't record. I had to drink. I was ingesting a lot of honey, tea, all types of like stuff like that, just to get my voice back to a manageable spot. But it literally was just ripped. I went to a doctor
Right.
and everything. It was just ripped. So that was my first time just not recording or doing music at all for like more than 3 or 4 weeks since I've started 4 or 5 years ago.
Hmm.
So yeah, so with that one, I remember I went to the studio with one of my favorite producers, Bizzo, artist and producer Bizzo. And we were in there one night. He was like, "Hey, just come with me and get the vibe. Like, I know you can't record right now, but just so you can stay creative, just be in the
Right.
environment."
Very
So I'm like,
important.
"Yeah, of course, I appreciate that," because I really wasn't even going. 'Cause I was so sad about not being able to work.
Right.
So we was just in there one night, and he was making this crazy beat. I was like, "Man, I don't care if my voice rip. I gotta get on this. I gotta get on this."
True artists.
I was like, I can't not do it. So he pulled it up. He was like, "All right, go ahead, you got it." And I like recording myself with certain songs, so I was recording myself, and that was the first song I ever did that I freestyled. Like I just freestyled that just off, what I was going through at the time, and just wanting an event and just just enjoying myself. And halfway through the song, I was like, "Man, it's not as bad. It doesn't sound as bad as I thought it was gonna sound." So I was
Right.
excited about it. So yeah, so I'm just like. Bizzo was like, "Man, bring that hook back in." And when I brought the hook back in, I was like, "Man, I like this." And I was gonna do a second verse, but it was just like that was what I was feeling at that moment. So that really put people in my state of mind at that time.
Right.
Um, and definitely just speaking on the visual, I didn't even actually, if I'm being transparent, I didn't even think anything of the song. It was just my team was just like, "Yo, this might be a little something right here." I'm like, "Man, you think so?" I'm like, "This is just something I was doing to get back in my comfort zone." Like, nah, like this got a feel to it. So what I was doing is basically I was thinking of a concept that put me in the state of mind where I was at that time. When I heard the beat off, like the first 5 seconds of the beat, it put me in the state of mind I was in to where I had an epiphany when I first started making music of how serious I should take it. Meaning, like,
Right.
every artist has that defining moment in their career to where they take it serious. Whether it was when they were
For sure.
14, 15, or they meet somebody and they give them some confirmation or something. It took me back to the place to where I knew I was, out here. It's important to believe in yourself. So it took me back to a place to where it was one night when I was in college. I was a sophomore and sophomore or junior. I can't even remember, but me and like 7 of my closest friends literally talked for 6 hours in the living room. It was the deepest convo I've ever had in my entire life. So the video itself is actually a walkthrough of that conversation I had with them. That's why the music video starts, in a room with a kickback, vibes, people having a good time,
Right.
enjoying themselves, talking, because that's what the environment was when I made to where the beat took me when I heard the beat, so.
Got it.
Hit up,
Got it.
hit up one of the dopest directors, Aries, and put together a dope visual just to walk y'all through that.
So definitely appreciate that explanation. You were a little bit robotic, so hopefully, everyone in the audience, if you didn't get to hear everything, definitely make sure you follow Sevant on his social media platforms. Yeah, I see you're loading, so let me know if you can hear me, Sevant. Are you still good?
No, you totally good. You can go ahead.
Okay,
Appreciate you.
cool. So make sure you guys follow Sevant Pollard. That's his Instagram name. If you have any other questions, and like he said, it's very important to protect your peace. So I definitely appreciate you giving me that explanation. Shout out to the GOAT magazine also who just joined. In you saying protect your peace, right?
Yes,
How
indeed.
important is it for you to be surrounded by people who really support you when you are going through something and when you're not? Because in this music industry, it's a lot. It's, on the mental and just the pressures, of the industry and etc. So can you talk about how the importance of having a solid foundation of people who can help you get back to you when you're not you and need to, create at your highest level?
Man, that was a great question, and definitely something I definitely take into consideration every day, every moment. One second.
1 second, guys. Savant is just getting in the house, and then we will be back to the questions. Make sure if you guys have any questions, you add them to the question box down below, and we will address those questions after the Q&A.
All right, but we all stationary. My apologies.
No, you're good. So perfect.
Can you repeat the question for me?
Absolutely. So the question was, as you now have the single called Protect My Peace, how important is it for you to be surrounded by people that not only protect your peace, but also respect your peace? In this industry, it's a very rough as far as on your mental. And if you don't have the right people around you, things could get worse before they get better. So the question is how important is it to be surrounded by people that protect your peace, but also respect your peace?
I appreciate it. Yeah, you said it. You hit it right on the head. Basically, protecting your peace is the only way I feel like successful people in any industry can be successful. You have to have some type of, um, foundation of self. I believe,
Absolutely.
like understanding of self. And artists, in my opinion, are some of the best at that because we basically are just exposing ourselves to everybody in a way.
Right.
We bring you into our world, bring you into our environment, our process, our everyday process. I think of my favorite artists like Michael Jackson or Tame Impala or Travis. Like it's almost like you can feel the frequency in what they're going through when they record. And I want people to feel that. I want the transparent feeling. Like some people don't like people, knowing what they got going on and stuff like that. So when I was in college and I first started making music, I had a lot of different types of people around me. People that were good for me, people that were kind of good for me, people that were bad for me, like just straight up.
You're robotic. You're robotic. We can't hear you, Savant.
Can you hear me?
Yep,
My bad.
I can hear you perfect now.
All right, awesome. Yeah, so basically, when I was just, it was just starting, I was just around a lot of different people because I started making music in college as a freshman. So I
Right.
had, all my friends around me, or people I thought were my friends, or mentors. So it's just a lot of weaving through the rough a lot, coming up. So to answer your question directly, though, the four things I always follow these four agreements I'm writing in the book, and it keeps me peaceful. I never take anything personal ever. That's the main thing. Second, I never make assumptions. Um, the third one is I do my best to be as impeccable as I can with my word. Like I always try to keep my word. Anything I say I'm gonna do. If I can't do it, I'm gonna be dying trying to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So those are like the main three. Um, and then just forgiveness. And not holding
Yeah, that's
grudges and
great.
stuff like that. Just will put you in a
Great
peaceful
advice.
spot. Like for
Great.
example, like my favorite one out of them is don't make assumptions. Because for example, let's say I'm dating somebody, and of course, when we're all in that real emotional state and we love somebody or whatever, let's say I'm dating somebody and I call them, or somebody, the person dating call me, and they're like, "Hey, what are you doing?" I don't answer the phone. They'll take it personal when the whole time I might have just got in a car accident. So
Right.
I
I
see
get
people
it.
like burn bridges a lot and
For
ruin a
some.
lot of opportunities and ruin a lot of bonds that could have helped them in their goal because of just being emotional and living by emotions, like letting your emotions trump your logic. So definitely the fourth one I always live by is definitely letting your logic trump your emotions. So that
Great.
way you're
Great.
able to channel your emotions, if that makes sense.
Great advice. Now, before I ask my next question, we actually have a question from somebody in the audience that's actually tied exactly to this topic.
Okay.
So Ray underscore the Virgo underscore proposes the question, what does peace mean to you in your own words? Great question. Thank you, Ray.
Peace. Shout out to Raven. Shout out to her. Definitely, peace to me is literally being with my closest friends, my business partners, and us just creating something. It's a way to, in a business sense, be advancing and to have fun. Especially at my age, I'm 23, so I'm in that that phase. Not that when you're not in this phase you can't work. I'm just saying, like, to where I'm just really trying to make a name for myself. I'm really trying to
Right.
leave my mark, influence people and just be a positive impact in the world. So that's peace for me. Peace for me is literally, making people laugh. I have a sense of humor. I love making people laugh, taking people out, just showing people a good time.
Same.
Of course, hosting, just kickbacks, anything that's inviting, just a crowd of good energy. So what I started doing after college is I really, no matter how I felt, and that's why it's important to make sure your logic is over your emotions. No matter how I felt about somebody, if they just weren't healthy for what I was trying to do in the future, I just couldn't have them anymore in my life at all. So I just started
Right.
replacing them with people that exactly. So I just started replacing them with people that were good, obviously. So um, it was so funny when I did that. I wish I did it like 2 or 3 years before, because it was like, why didn't I do this a long time ago? Why didn't I?
And
The thing is, that's what I love about life the most. It's so simple to the point to where we all overthink it. Like, if you want
yes,
to feel
yes,
good, only surround yourself with people that make you feel good. I had a
yes,
lot of people that would challenge my spirituality. I had a lot of
man,
people that would challenge my
man, speak
my
on it.
views that I just believed in. And think about me, why it would offend me, because I really respect everybody. Like, I respect what you believe in, even if I disagree. I
Right.
don't mind debating with you, but at the end of the day, I respect how you feel. And if it gets to a point in the convo where you're just like, I just feel how I feel, we can just agree to disagree. I respect that. You know what I'm saying? I want everybody to always be an individual. So I protect my peace was just literally just praying, meditating, and keeping good people around you. It's that simple. Like my team, shout out my team, shout out Real, shout out Bizzo, D Clax, like all my guys, like Mitchell, Set, like everybody, like my team. They keep me positive. We keep each other positive. We just moving towards this big goal.
Absolutely. Now, as a new phrase that I added into my vocabulary and language is I need people that are positive around me in order for me to stay popping. If there is a lot of negative energy around you, you can have certain opportunities, and just as quickly as you get them, they're gone.
Ooh, you hit it on the head.
So I literally welcome positive energy. And to your point, I just started saying to myself, if you want to be loved, be around people that's going to love you the way you deserve to be loved. Don't force it. If it doesn't feel right, if it's not natural, just get away from it. So definitely appreciate you. We actually have a couple more questions. Thank you guys so much for sending in questions. This has been so great. Really appreciate you. Again, shout out to I Am Hip Hop Mag as well as Savant. Another question we have is, and this comes from Amani Monet. What do you hope to bring to the music industry that's different? Great question.
Great question. Anybody that knows me in a personal sense, and even creatively, I'm just different. Like
Yes.
I'm literally different. Like even Brittany, you know me as well.
Yes. And I love you for it, for being different, because it plays out into your creativity.
Exactly.
And that's the cool thing about when you're being creative, there's no limitations. So whoever you are should always come through your art. If you are somebody that can utilize art in a space to create positivity and also a peaceful energy around yourself.
Yeah, give me the question one more time. 'Cause I want to hit you directly.
Okay, not a problem. This is from Amani Monet again, and thank you again for the question. What do you hope to bring to the music industry that's different?
Uh, and it really, to answer that question, it really comes from how I started making music. This is like a quick story. My first studio session I've ever had in my life, my very first time recording ever, I didn't record with metronome. That literally, I know this, some people might feel like I'm overthinking, but I don't think so. I always go with my own rhythm. Like I've always had great rhythm, but basically I've just always been offset. I remember the producers that were recording me when I was doing it was like, yo, you've never, it was like, what are you doing? You're not, the metronome's on, you're not gonna be on beat. Like, what are you doing? I'm like, bro, I'm just different. Like,
Right.
if I hear it, that puts pressure on me to be on it. I'd rather just be in my own world, my own flow, and just flow. So just my approach, that's the real thing that sets me apart. Just my approach to everything. Every time I do anything, whether I'm making a song, a project, or designing a clothing item, or I'm uh, orchestrating a meeting, I always want to come on orthodox, because on orthodox and just being you,
Right.
always more attention than if you're trying to be somebody else. So
Absolutely.
uh, just literally just an unorthodox approach in the simplest form to
Dope.
everything.
Definitely. Great questions, guys. I really appreciate the. I have a couple more questions for Savant. I do have one question that was posed in the audience, and I want to make sure that I can get to this question before I go into a transition of questions that I want to ask. This
Okay,
one is from VC James Slaughter. What does music mean, and what does it do for you? Great question.
that was a great question. As far as music, man, it literally saved my life. I remember when I was in middle school and high school, I always wanted to be like an executive in the industry, but I never. That's what I wanted to do. That's what I went to school for, but I still wasn't finding that. I guess internal fulfillment from it. Like I was doing it, I was good at it. Like I was able to make a lot of stuff happen to be 17 or 18 years old. But at the time, I'm missing something. And I remember that's why I'll always be forever indebted to my brother, Bizzo, super dope producer. Just he produced Protect My Peace, actually, ironically.
Shout
Um,
outs, man.
always shout out
Got a hit.
always a big shout out to Bizzo and Kenneth Cash. He was also he actually bought the first microphone I recorded on when we was broke college students, had no money for anything else. It was all just trapping out of there. So
Brothers.
they really gave me my start. So that's why I'm forever indebted, because ever since I've touched the mic, I've never felt so at home. You know what I'm saying? Like I mean,
Amazing.
my very first song, people were like, "Yo, this is dope. We'll play this," and I'm like, "Yo, y'all like this?" And it basically just made me feel like I had a place in the world. If that makes sense. Like
Like you felt
I
like you
remember
belonged.
exactly like the
Man,
end of my first, I made that first song, and I remember I made another song right after, and everybody was just like, "Yo, this is better than the first one." I was like, "Wow, this is why this is for me." And I wasn't. It didn't even put me in a state of mind like, "Oh wow, I'm this. I can brag. I can play my songs everywhere." It was just like I have a place here, and I want everybody to feel how I feel right now. Like I had to go find my passion. I had to go find why I'm here. Like a lot of people think it's gonna find you. You got to go find it. I was just trying a whole lot of new things. I never made a song before. I was like, let me try something new. Bizzo wrote my first song for me, and I did it, and that's what happened. And I fell in love with it ever since. So I'm just really all about trying new things. That's why even my music sounds the way it sounds. It's unorthodox because every single song I'm trying something new. Every
Right.
song.
So
Yeah.
definitely appreciate that explanation, and want to just thank everybody in the audience who have been posing these really great questions. I really appreciate it. One thing about Savant, he's always going to be honest, and you will be able to feel that in his music as well. So really do appreciate all these great questions.
Yeah.
Now to segue a little bit, we do have one more question, but I'm going to ask it at the closer, more so to the end. Question that I have is, a lot of people might not know this. You're actually signed to Dare Records.
Yes, I am.
Can you talk a little bit about how much that has changed your life and just some of the opportunities, that has come out of that? Because a lot of people are doing a lot of great things, but they often, fall by the wayside. But one thing people don't talk a lot about is when you are somebody that gets signed and you're still on the grind, you know what I'm saying? You're still working to make it to that mainstream level among your favorites, as you mentioned, Michael Jackson, Travis, and several others. So can you talk about, what has life been like since signing to Dead Records?
It's been beautiful, honestly. Big shout out to the CEO Mookie, for believing in me. My vision. That's one thing I always respect and appreciate forever from that side of the board. Like they really believed in that little 22-year-old college kid that had a vision that just swore he knew everything, and they've taught me so much. I've had to humble myself a lot, and they've taught me so many things, and they're literally I feel like I have one of the dopest managers in the game. Shout out Aries. Literally, I wouldn't even have met my manager if it wasn't for my label's vision. I remember they asked me, my vision for videos and what I wanted to do, and I told them, and I love the way me and them combine our ideas. I'm a team player. I really like winning, and I literally like seeing everybody else win just as much. I'm not just saying it because it sounds good. That's literally,
Right.
it's ever been around me knows that. You know what I'm saying? So um, I just appreciate how much they believed in me. You know what I'm saying? It's so discouraging, this industry, all the hardships, all the hurdles, and just having a real set of experience uh, from all walks of the industry, from the top to the bottom, like
Right.
of understanding of, what I'm saying, they really believe in what I want to do, and they're able, not only they believe what I want to do, but they know how to get me where I want to be.
Right.
Like in similar
Absolutely.
line, are able to guide me. So I just remember it's been such a patient, beautiful process. It's been, I've learned so much. And like I said, I wouldn't even have met my manager if it weren't for them.
Right.
They do a lot of stuff. They just really good hearted people. You know what I'm saying? You don't
Absolutely.
situations like that. So I'm just blessed to be in the situation I'm in with them, and I just can't wait to see what we put out. It's an honor to be with them.
Absolutely. And shout out to Dare Records for sure, man. Definitely,
And just
definitely.
as far as there too, like I remember just getting that call. I remember shout out. This is like a big shout out to Childish Major and Dose Diaz for telling me to come.
And I love Childish Major. Shout out to him. He is so underrated, man.
He's literally one of the rawest niggas to me. Like he's crazy. I'll come in for a minute, but I remember those. I got cool with those through throwing parties in the Atlanta area. I threw a lot of parties in the big club scenes in Atlanta with Hit Squad and PB, a lot of stuff like. As far as just building my groundwork, that's where that came from, and then.
Okay, dope. Can you hear
Can
me
you hear me?
still?
Cutting
No, you
off.
faded out a little bit. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, once again, definitely appreciate you talking a little bit about, you being signed. There's so many horror stories, when an independent artist or just somebody that's really trying to be on the up and up, who literally are just trying to do any and everything they can to live out their dream.
And I
So
speak. That's it. I really want to speak on that. I love hearing that, and I want to tell all fellow artists this. Like the the only way the biggest people in the game became the biggest people as far as the artist wise, they had to understand the business of it. A lot of label, if you're nobody, like if you have no following and nothing's going on for you, and a label signs you and takes percentages, would you even be in? Artists don't say these things until they're already big. And my question to all artists are, would you even be big without their contribution? No. And these things,
exactly.
so it's like they didn't have anything for the label to work with, but the label gave them so much belief and invested them with money, time,
The
effort.
backing.
Like artists have to. It's two ways to it. Because I'm also an executive too, so I understand the other side of it. Like, and that's why I'm able to be fair to both sides. It's just
Right.
like, if you don't know your business, don't come here. Like, don't feel like somebody's taking advantage of you because you signed a deal that you didn't look at. Like,
Exactly. That you did not read the fine print. That you
because
did not get a lawyer for. That you did not get one of your friends that's in law school currently to go look it over. I couldn't have said it better.
because the main thing to understand is, like, for real, like, they have a business to run.
Exactly.
I'm not saying they don't take advantage of artists. They do, and artists take advantage of labels as well in different ways. What I'm saying is, people are people. And that's the thing I learned about life. To why I'm able to navigate through the game smoothly or smoother than others is because I understand people first. Oh, this person might try to take advantage of me because everybody does that at some point. Or this person, blah, blah, blah. Like, just understanding these things about the common person will help you navigate. Like, I've had such a smooth way just because I know, just how the business works, and not just the music business, is business in general. You can go in the oil business, it's the same thing as music. It's business. Understanding that is what I educate our artists to do. Get a lawyer.
Facts. Very much so. And I'm so glad you interjected me because that was very, very important. One thing I want to say is become a student of the music game. That is the most important thing I tell anybody that I have the pleasure of working with or encountering. The best advice I can give you when it does come to approaching the music industry is become a student of it. Study, not just sound, study the business side of it, study contracts. And if you can't, as far as retaining that information, get somebody around you in your circle that can or who does know that information. So definitely appreciate you. Two more questions. I have to do this question that came from the audience. Very,
Gotcha.
very important question. How does your music affect the vibration of the world?
Ooh, they didn't say
I had to. I was like, ooh, they dropped a good one. And shout out to Nova. Nova came, but it's NOVACXNE. Shout outs for that very deep question. This is the right person to answer it.
Who said that? Let me see. Who said that?
Nova K _ Nova CXNE _
Hey, shout out Nova. I know who that is. Shout out to you.
Yeah, man.
Words never to say around me. Never say the words frequency or vibrations, because that's when I come alive.
It's about
Like,
to go up.
I understood a long time ago that sound is the most important thing to our lives. We do everything that we do because of what we heard as kids, what we heard as in school with our teachers. Like, I understood then, like, how important, like, frequency vibrations are, like, just
Right.
frequency vibration in general. So also on music, that just made me really careful. I mean, when I first started making music, I'm not ashamed. I was 18. It was just like I was making shake your booty, like, just making stuff I heard because that's.
ATL with it.
But think about it. The only reason why I even made that stuff when I first started is because that's all I heard. That shows you the power of the frequency.
Right.
So, I really think our artists have to be more aware of what they're putting out. Like, at this point, I'm really intentional about everything I put out now. Protect my peace. I might say some ratchet stuff in there, but that's what I was experiencing in that moment. So I'm also being transparent
But
with
you
you.
were also remaining authentic.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm gonna grow. I'm gonna make mistakes. I'm gonna say bad things sometimes, but at the same time, I'm human. Like, everybody's gonna do. So it's just like being able to forgive yourself helps with your own vibrations internally. Like, forgiving yourself is one of the biggest things to me. Like, shout out Free Mind.
I was just thinking of Tim's, her song.
I'll get into the Free Mind thing later, but that's even why why me and D Class came with that name. D Class came with the name, and I was just like, that's perfect for what we're trying to accomplish, because people have to get out of their own way. Like, it's that simple.
Sure. I know it's such a simple statement, but it's very powerful. And I understand that.
I put it like this: as far as the reason I say get out of your own way is because I had to learn to master order and organization and then self-control, and that really helped my vibrations because I stopped getting irritated by stuff. like this goes back to the emotions trump, you know, people letting emotions trump their logic. Like I'm at a point now, if I want to be mad right now, I'll be mad. If I don't, I won't, because I really control
Facts.
myself. I
Facts.
control,
Ooh, speak on it.
you know, life is almost a video game when you get to that point. You just do what you want and it happens. Like I put it like this. This is how simple life is. Watch this, guys. If I focus nonstop and remove all distractions for 4 months, I'll get farther than I would if I didn't. That's how simple life is. It sounds like duh, but it's like, yeah. So why are you not doing it? Or why is anybody not doing it? Why is everybody not doing it? I'm 23, but when I learn what I know now, I'm like, why didn't I do this like as a freshman?
Mm-hmm.
Remove myself from shitty people and
And
like why?
toxic energy is dangerous.
But the catch is those type of thoughts I just said make you hard on yourself. So at the same time, at the end of the day, you have to. I didn't know any better. I have to forgive myself.
Know better, do better.
Like, and that's the thing I'm always trying to do. I'm always trying to learn and grow. I'm not perfect, but I'm aiming for perfection all the time. So I love that question because that's my favorite topic. We can do a whole live.
Look, you know, look, we gonna talk after, because I'm about to tell you, like, we didn't really. I feel like we opening the door to things that a lot of people aren't used to hearing, but need to hear that, especially from people who have been in the industry for, you know what I'm saying, started young. I started at 19, you started at 18. You know what I'm saying? So it's different when we start at a teenage level and then enter into our adulthood. The things that we experience as essentially still a child change immediately when we get that stamp of 21.
Very well worded.
You know what I'm saying? So definitely appreciate you giving a little bit of information. And of course, the last question I was going to ask was for you to talk a little bit. Go ahead.
I'm about to say before, I just have to say this too. I want to show people the simplest form that everybody knows of the power of vibrations. Like vibrations are undeniable. You can't get away from. Can't get away. I'm gonna say, who's seen White Chicks?
Love that movie. Triple T K A.
Turn up, but but no. So look, White Chicks. One of my favorite characters in that movie, aside from Marlon
brothers, Terry Crews.
Right. Terry Crews in that movie gave me the simplest form of vibrations because, and I've seen this in real life. Mm-hmm. That I don't even know who that is. One of the most famous songs ever. What's the song?
I don't know. I know what you're talking about, but I don't even know the song. Every time I think of it, I go watch the White Chicks. Like
and I need you, whatever that song is.
Oh, you mean you talking about and that's I miss you.
That song showed me the power of vibrations because you can play that song in front of the most savage hood nigga. Your head gonna move a little bit. The vibrations are too melodic, and that's
Fantasia's When I See You.
And that's why us artists have and our power. We have power here, and we have to learn how to channel it to create good vibrations and good things because and I need you. That's putting somebody that might kill somebody in a better state of mind than killing somebody.
It's a universal song because it has a universal message. Love is universal. It transcends the race, religion, sexuality. It doesn't matter. And that's what you're supposed to feel when you're listening to your favorite artist. You're supposed to feel that love, that safe haven, that comfortable space. So I definitely appreciate that reference.
I want to say, and this goes back to protecting the peace, and all this is about vibrations. Protect my peace is about protecting your vibrations of what you do. So basically what I'm saying is like, the reason why me and my circle are so tight and why I trust them and why I got real love for all my brothers in my circle and my team is because like, we're not scared to tell each other what it is. We don't judge each other off our opinions. Like a lot of people, if you have a differing opinion, oh my God, no, he's out the crew, he's canceled or whatever. And it's just like,
Vanessa Carlton, 1,000 Miles is the name of that song, by the way.
How do you thank you.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to my guy in the comments. I was blanking. Shout out. Yes, 1,000 Miles. That's it.
No, but like, what was I saying? I lost my train of thought.
You were just piggybacking off of, you said back to protect my peace.
Oh. Mm-hmm. As far as, I'm trying to think how to word it the right way. It's more of just like, really forgot what I was saying. What was I just saying? Dang.
You were talking about protecting your peace, and it's more about because you were talking about your circle and you were mentioning Bizzo, the producer and stuff, but you were just saying how that's why you really have a lot of love for your brothers
Oh,
and the people on your team, and then
I
you
love
were saying, given the reason why.
you. You're great. I appreciate you.
Hmm.
It's basically like that's why I rock with my team so well because Bizzo will be like, bro, this shit trash. And I'll be like, Bizzo, this ain't hard. Or we can be real. Like, one of my favorite producers to work with is Real. Like Real be like, or we just real. Look, a lot of the problem with the world is just like if you don't like what somebody's doing or you don't agree with what a group of people is doing,
You're
like
attacked.
you're a total, you'll never have a life again. You're
Right.
canceled.
Right.
That's such an unhealthy and toxic culture because
Man,
it goes against forgiveness.
it's crazy.
I put it like this. Do you know how many of people's favorite artists have done stuff they would be of knowing behind doors that you never know and you'll never know, but you'll root for them. You just happen to know about somebody else. Now, that's the thing.
Boy,
Everybody, it wouldn't be no artists out.
man.
It's just like we artists and people that have names, they're human. So even before I got in the industry, I've always had a great respect for celebrities. Like I'm not about to walk up to somebody unless it's like Michael Jackson or something. I'm gonna walk up to Michael Jackson. But everybody else, like I try to respect their space. Like this person wouldn't prefer a picture right now. They take pictures for a living. Leave them alone. You're starstruck and it's cool, but it's just like really understand and respect people. You know what I'm saying? Respect their peace.
For sure. Absolutely. And look, on another thing, that's the reason why I have so much respect for Beyonce and Jay-Z. Because if I've learned nothing from them, I learned how to protect not only my peace, but anything that I have in my personal life, keep it off of the internet. So that's one of the biggest things I appreciate about them individually and as a couple, because we only know certain things about Beyonce because she's told us. The rest of the stuff, not our business, and she keeps it that way, and I appreciate that because we always look at the artist. You know what I'm saying? We don't get to judge Beyonce off of anything in her personal life, and it's just a very big lesson. Me being old or somebody listening to her Destiny's Child since I was a kid and watching the way she's developed over time, it showed me the importance of keeping certain things private for your peace and sanity. So definitely appreciate you sharing that. And the last question, which is actually a piggyback off, we mentioned free mind.
Uh-oh.
Currently, you have a lot of endeavors that kind of takes you out as far as not being in front of the mic, you recording and stuff, being the artist. You do other things outside of just being an artist. As you said, you're an exec, but you're also a producer. I know that you recently assembled, as you can say, kind of like a producing collective with some of your closest friends in the industry. Do you mind talking a little bit about that and kind of what brought that on? Currently your most recent endeavor outside of the single?
Yeah, I love to tell you about that. I appreciate, definitely appreciate that. One of my best friends beyond the music in life is my brother D Clax. He's him and his D Clax is he produced a lot of stuff for Cody Shane. He used to be signed to Dark Side with Rodney Jerkins. He used to
Hey,
be
shout outs.
just a OG out here. He's the music director of the 85 South Show right now. He's a dude playing the keyboard in the back. He's
Dope.
just multifaceted graphic designer, creative designer. So he's just somebody I love to learn from. And actually, when I first started making music, he gave me my first industry cosign. Like, yo, you're dope. Like, when I first started making music, my goal was I knew some people when I was a kid, but it was really important to me. Like I have to get here by myself. Let me make sure I belong in the industry and not just just some lame like, oh, he knows this person, blah blah blah. Like I really wanted to know. So I remember I was on campus and I was just working a lot, and one of my mentors on campus, shout out to Stacy Roberson. I wouldn't even be where I'm at without Stacy Roberson. Shout out to him. He was like, "Yo, my bro D Clack's house, bro. He's Cody Shane producer. He's hard. He's
Shout out to Cody Shane.
Cody Shane is.
Man,
Let
so
me tell you.
talented, man.
Let me tell y'all something. Shout out to Cody. I was actually had the honor of meeting her last week at her
Man,
show.
she's so talented.
When I first started making music, she was my Michael Jackson. I'm telling you, like.
And she's young as well. Just so you guys know, like when I met Cody Shane, I don't even think she was like 19. And I
Yeah,
met her during BET, yes, and she was killing it. Shout out to ASAP Mob.
So yeah, shout out to them for sure. Uh, uh, as far as where was I at? I just forgot
You
again.
talking about how Cody Shane was your Michael Jackson
Oh,
back?
of course. So basically, my homie was like, "Yo, let me take," and Bizzo and Kenneth Cash at the time. He was like, "Let me take y'all." We were roommates at the time in Clark, Atlanta. Shout out to Clark, Atlanta. Shout out to
You see, you love.
AUC. I wouldn't even be where I'm at, but at the AUC, I'm forever indebted to them. I wouldn't be shit without them. So shout out to them.
And
But
just so you guys know, AUC, if you guys aren't familiar with that terminology, is also referencing to the HBCU community. The AUC, which is in Atlanta, which encompasses Morehouse, which also has Spelman, and Clark Atlanta University. So shout out to the AUC for sure.
facts, facts. So just for clarification, I didn't make music till the end of the last week of my freshman year. So the AUC stands for the Atlanta University Center. So it's just that community is such a tight knit group, and I appreciate them. Like from the DJs to just people just around stuff, sending it to their friends. Like people just rock with each other in the AUC, and that's why I appreciate. Um, as far as Fremont, Clax is actually an alumni of Clark,
Right.
too, as so that's how he knew the connect I had to him. So basically, long story short, we got to his crib, and I was so nervous, man. I was like, dude, he literally produces all the songs I listen to. Like, I'm scared as hell right now. Like, I can't. Like, play the songs. I'm looking at Bizzo the whole time. I can't even fathom looking at Clax. I don't want to see his reaction. I'm like looking at my homies, like, bro, what's he doing? Like this. And I turned to him. He was like, I was like,
Yeah,
and
man.
I just started. So I was
Good
like,
feeling.
stop the music. He was like, man, y'all need some mixing stuff fixed, but like, y'all got a sound. Like, y'all are gonna make it. Like, I promise. Like, y'all hard. And I'm just like, ever since that day, and that's why I'm forever indebted to Clax too. Ever since that day, I've looked at myself like a real artist. I was like, wow, I belong here.
Man,
If
that's
the
inspiring.
if the all the songs that I listen to on the daily is telling me to do it, why would I not do it? How can I not do it? You know what I'm saying?
It's different when people believe in you. You might not even believe in it or don't see the dream yet. But man,
But
when people believe in you, it's amazing how far you can go.
at the time I was only like 18, 19, I think. I don't
Right.
even remember how, but I
Yeah,
was just
freshman
young.
into freshman year. Mm-hmm.
I remember what I had on. That's how important it was to me. I had
Oh,
Spelman
I
hoodie
know.
on navy blue. It was
Mhm.
crucial. So it was just like let me think. Going back to that time, like I remember leaving that house and saying my life's never gonna be the same, and I knew it wasn't. I knew I was gonna eventually. I knew
Have
it was
those feelings.
God was laying out those steps for me, and I knew it was gonna happen. So I just try to stay focused. Mistakes like as far as like not even mistakes. I dropped out of school to focus more on the music, but I wish I had stayed. If that makes sense. So
I get it.
make some little hiccups or whatever. But the main part is about Fremont. Like me and Classes built like a brotherhood
Mm-hmm.
and like a mentor to like me and Bizzo and NF at the time. Like we were just all just wanting to sponge all his stuff. We were like making beats with him. So I ended up making my first song with him maybe like 2 weeks after meeting him, and it was my best song. And then we made another song after that, and we all got on the song. And it was even better than the first one. So I was like,
Right.
bro, if I get around these real people in the industry, I can really pop off. Like this
Right.
can. It got me really excited. So long story, like fast forward to now, we built a bond over years. Just kept working, kept showing love, and we, like I said, beyond the music in class, we hoop twice a week.
That's
You know,
dope. You
like
guys
his
formed a brotherhood.
yeah, like real brothers, like his family's like my family. Like they looked out for me in so many different ways. Um, let me think. They just helped me out in so many different ways. So definitely Clack. So I remember we was just
I can't hear you. We can't hear you, Savant. Can't hear you. Yes, I can hear you now.
I was getting a call. I think it's just muted. Yeah, I'll go back. As far as Clax go, yeah. So we were just. I remember I had just did my label videos, and I was like, okay, I got my singles done with my label and stuff like that. So what can I be doing in the meantime, or just creating a better network for myself, a better situation, just anything, just doing stuff for myself. So I remember I went to D Class House. I was like, bro, I want you to executive produce my debut project. And this was what I compared to like Drake So Far Gone, like the debut when it really puts you on. Like,
Right.
can't do like just that one. You know what I'm saying? So,
Mm-hmm.
um, yeah. So I remember I went to his house. He was like, bro, I'd be honored, bro. I appreciate that. I'm like, man, I'm honored that you're honored, or I'm
Right.
honored.
So dope.
And we've been
Oh.
probably a good month and a half ago. So we've been taking, I want to drop it, you know, middle of next year possibly. So just putting stuff together slowly, not rushing the process. And in that same convo, we looked at each other and said, bro, between me and you, who can we get to in the whole music industry? As far as
Real
like,
talk.
hey, any producer, any executive, any songwriter, any artist, I have a way to him, or he does, like between me and him. And I'm all about, we were just having a real deep conversation about just generational wealth. Like, man, we want to move our families somewhere. We want to pass down stuff when we're gone. You know, just have something to pass down. Like, think of Walmart. Their family's never going to work again. You know what I'm saying? It's
Right.
just something really major. And I'm like, man, I'm trying to move to LA. He's like, man, I'm trying to move to LA too. I'm trying to move my family
You
to
know
LA.
the blueprint, Sevant. You know the blueprint.
Hey, I'm trying to get out there so bad. So where I'm at with it is like, he was like, where do we start? He was like, me and you. I was like, bro, we have access to some of the hottest producers right now. Like, some of them are already in the game and doing their thing, but it's just like more than just being dope producers. Like, we have to find the right personalities. It's not just, it's easy to, it's actually, if we're being honest, it's easy to find a bunch of 5 people, but can you find a bunch of 5 people that
Right.
have moral compass? Do they have common sense? Are they shiesty? Are they stupid? Just straight up dumb? Like, it's just stuff like that. And it's just like, we had to find the right people. So, I mean, the first person I called was Biz. I was like, Biz, I need you to join the team. He was like, bro, it's you and Clax. I'm already on the team. I was like, you're right.
Right.
I hit we're getting exposed. I'm writing the essay. My boy going crazy on the essay. Yeah, we scholars anyway. But like,
That's your brother?
no, that's Rib. He on the team too. No, so I was saying,
Okay, what's up?
like Rib, he was the second call I made after Bizzo. I'm like, man, I want you to join this team. He was like, bro, we're together all the time anyway. Like, he was like, bro, we about to turn up. I'm like, all right, bet. Cool. I was like, bet.
Oh, Rib's on the live, right? He's on the audience. Shout out, man. Been seeing him dropping a lot of love for you, man. That's fire.
Who's dropping that? Who's dropping the hearts? Shout out to Rib.
For sure.
So that's what I'm saying. And then I remember I reached out to my homie Mitchell out of LA. And I was like, man, I want you to join this collective I'm putting together. I think you'd be perfect for it. Like, I wanted to put certain sounds together, mixed sounds. Like, I'm really a visionary.
Like the underdogs, essentially.
Not even, because it's like, we're like, all of us already have our own motion going on. Nobody's leeching off nobody. We don't need each other.
I mean, it's the sound. When I said the underdog, you know, they have a distinct sound. You feel what I'm saying?
Oh, underdog. Yeah. Like, more of like
the underdog, the production group. You get what I'm saying?
Similar like the underdogs, the 808 Mafia.
Yes.
I'm like, put together to make it sound. Like,
right.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
So, like, we start doing that, just getting loops from people, start getting just all type of just motion going on. We just start cooking up, like hanging out once or twice a week, making beats all night and just having a good time. And we all good people. Like, I'm a good person, so I surround myself with all other good people. And then we just have a good time together. Like, it's that simple. We just make music. And we have fun. We laugh. We might have a little drink sometime. We, go hang out. Play, like I said, play basketball. We just bond. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's not let me go play basketball with them so we can bond. It's like, bro, that's just what we do. You know what I'm saying? It's natural. And it's a blessing to be a part of, what I've been able to help put together. Because we all have a role in putting it together. So, let me think. After that, then I think Rib reached out to Set. My homie Set, he joined the team, and I was like, we had 7 people. I was like, this is all we need right now. And in the future,
right?
I guess my title, like, I co-founded it with Clack, so we're the CEOs, but like, nobody's above nobody.
Right.
That's my role in the team is help orchestrate and run stuff, but I'm not above Rib. I'm not above Bizzo. I'm not above anybody. Like, we just all have roles, and we all got a plan. We're gonna kill it. So I'm excited.
Absolutely.
Shout out to Taylor. Sasha, we just brought a new person on the team to help administratively. Like I'm really excited about what we're putting together, and we're forming like a Fremonte. We're gonna have a lot of big artists on it. You know, I'm an artist myself, so they're helping me executive produce my tape. So we're about to be a big wave in the game. That's the only way I can say it. We're about to come like soft, and we're never leaving. Like that's how it's gonna be. So
Shout out to Taylor. We see you, girl.
shout out to Sevant.
Yeah, man. Definitely appreciate that. You have a lot of great things. And the reason why I pose that question is because a lot of times artists think that that's the only thing you can do as a recording artist. But it's always good to challenge yourself. And if there's anything that's in your heart that you feel like you want to bring to life, bring it to life.
I got a confession. My confession is that I was way more invested, like before I even became an artist. Like I love the music industry. Like I was a business major in school, and I used to love entertainment. The whole industry.
You're robotic, Sevant. You're robotic.
My bad.
Your connection's going in and out. Okay, I can hear you now. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll repeat that part. Like, it was so funny because when I first started, I was like, I'm about to be a millionaire because, like, the only reason why artists aren't here is they don't know the business. Before I became an artist, how can I lose? Like, how? Like, I'll be on the phone with people. I remember I got a lot of independent labels wanted to sign me when I first started. Like, I had like 3 or 4 like independent ones to sign me, and it was so funny the terms. I'm like, they don't even know I know what this is. Like, they're not. I'm not stupid. You know what I'm saying? I educate all my artists fans to learn the business side. This shit like 50% music and 85% business. It's like any business industry. Learn that. You know what I'm saying? So even Clack, see, to this day, educates me on content. Like we're not gonna making no mistakes with paperwork. Like I'm a good person, so I don't take advantage of nobody. Like we just want to win. We're gonna do it the right way. Have good people around us. Shout out my brother Steve. Like we just
the whole crew up in here. Hey,
got the whole gang up in
real friends, okay? For real, it's beautiful to see all your people come up in here. Like, man, like guys, pay attention. This is what real support looks like. Everybody he has mentioned has popped through this live just to support him, show love, and make sure that he knows that no matter what, they have his back. That is real love and friendship on a business and on a personal level. Definitely, Sevant, I want to say thank you. This has been such a powerful interview. It's one thing when you get to interview people that you're a fan of their music, but it's different when you are a fan of them as a person. And I am a fan of both. So I really appreciate such an amazing interview and an experience. This is the first of yet many, many more things to come for Sevant and his new endeavors, and the change that he plans to create, in the city of Atlanta, and then eventually the whole world. So if I leave you with nothing, make sure you guys tap in with Mr. Sevant Pollard. He has a new single and music video, Protect My Peace. Make sure you go stream that. Make sure you follow him on social media. And if you have any more questions that I didn't get a chance to, bring up for Sevant, be sure to DM him. He's a really nice guy. He's doing a lot of great things. Make sure you tap in. And I appreciate everybody for the great questions. It has been a really awesome interaction with the fans, as well as, again, with Sevant. Shout out to Dare Records. Shout out to Clark Atlanta and everybody that's been on Sevant's support team on his business and on his spiritual journey. Definitely appreciate you for having me. And again, shout out to I Am Hip Hop Magazine, as we are now doing our live interview series. This is the first of many. And I appreciate you again, Sevant, for being the first guest under my direction as far as interviewing, conducting this Q&A. So again, I thank you so much.
It's an honor, man. I just want to give a special shout out to all my supporters that came here, my family. My supporters, I don't call anybody fans. That's my opinion. That's like respectful. I don't buy like just the frequency of it, but like all my supporters, I appreciate y'all, man. Like it's so discouraging sometimes. In the past, I had quite a lot of hurdles to where I'm at right now. So, and I wouldn't be able to do that without shout out to Cassidy, just shout out to my family in this industry.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
definitely interviewing me. Feel free to DM me any questions. And yeah, shout out just all
And again,
love and
shout out to I Am Hip Hop Mag for going up
shout out to
all month. This is just a start of something great. Don't be afraid to share your story. People want to hear it. These are things that can help people get through a bad day.
facts.
You
Let me
know? Go ahead.
say everybody is watching. Everybody will watch. I need y'all. I want because I'm real big on making myself better and being better. I'm not where I want to be. I'm perfect. Nowhere near where I want to be. I want y'all to go check out the song. I want y'all to go check out the video, and I want
Yes.
feedback. I want everything to always get better. I want y'all to know y'all are part of that process. So like, DM me, like, watch my YouTube video, like, dislike if you don't like, comment. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, show some love and let me know how you think I can improve, and I'll take consideration. You know, girl.
Absolutely. You have heard it best from Mr. Savant. And if you guys have any more questions, feel free to kick him directly. Shout out Shabazz. Make sure y'all hit him directly. He is open to entering any DMs as far as helping him get better on his creative process and get coming into the new year with bright ideas and new ways that he will continue to tackle the music industry. It's your girl, Britt Burt. I'm signing off on behalf of I Am Hip Hop Mag. Peace.
Peace.